here. I know I've been gone for quite a while and been posting on Instagram, but haven't done any videos. I'm not even gonna qualify that. I haven't done anything. But the last couple of months have been quite the dramatic change. A little bit more so than I thought they would be, and that is what this video is about. Trying to explain my consistent inconsistency, and rather than just like be in the garage or in the office or something, I decided to do this in a little bit different type of setting. So here we are, and hopefully you can hear me. But I'm on my way back from North Carolina up to Virginia, and I'll explain that here in a bit. But just to start things off, the big reason why, I guess the excuse I have for not being very consistent, making videos or doing anything, well, the season was one of them, it being winter. Now we're coming into spring, so track season's here. But the big factor in all of this was the fact that I had a big life and career change. So for those that didn't know, because I've only told my close friends and obviously family, but back in November I separated from the military and decided to get into the civilian sector. And yeah, so it's been a very, very big change. And I had a plan going into this. There was a lot of ideas about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to progress, trying to get my racing stuff going, well, track stuff going, and work towards my competitive license, and then, get into competition and a few other things. And I would say 2 years before I got out, so back in 2020, I decided it was my time, but I didn't want to just go back and forth to the office every day. So I took up the opportunity to decide after 2 years with one unit to go to another and volunteer for a deployment. And during that deployment, I was studying for PMP, which was part of my plan, based on some conversations I had with a buddy of mine who mentioned that that industry, if you want to even call it that, but project management is living pretty large, still is actually. So I studied that, but I wasn't able to give it my full attention. So once I got back, I started hitting it again, but I was also working on the out-processing stuff for the military. And then once out, I kind of went headstrong into it. And 2 weeks after that, I got my PMP certification. And I thought that would open a lot of doors, which it probably did. But if you are like anybody else that went into the job market or is in the job market, you'll know that it's kind of insane right now. At the time that I was going through finding a job, there were a ton of job listings, but I may be speaking from ignorance, being this is the first time I'm a civilian actually going into the job market, looking at job listings and whatnot. But there were a lot of jobs, applied to quite a few of them, and either didn't get an interview, got an interview, or got told by somebody from the company that applied to the listing that the position no longer needed to be filled. So I ran into some issues, but luckily I had a friend who happened to be in Virginia, which is where I'm headed now, 4 hours away. His boss was grumbling in the work area about some applications he was getting and the type of people that were applying, not meeting qualifications and whatnot. And to skip all the hubbub, my friend called me up telling me that his boss was looking for a person to fill a position with 2 people leaving in the very soon near future. And I decided to take the chance and got an interview, and long story short, I ended up getting hired. So now that I house in North Carolina, and the trouble is, I work in Virginia, and like I said a little bit ago, it's 4 hours away from my North Carolina house, so it's quite a bit of ways, and I don't have a place in Virginia. So currently I'm living with my buddy, who was gracious enough to, him and his wife were gracious enough to let me stay with them as long as I needed, and to find a place. And so now I'm looking for a place, and when I first got up there, I was trying to decide on what I wanted to do. I had rent an apartment, rent a house, or buy a house. And thought about doing an apartment because, easy, simple, whatever. But then I slowly started thinking, about getting into the track season and that hobby. And although the plan is to also get a racing simulator, being in an apartment doesn't allow me to have everything up near where I live, so I would still be using the house in North Carolina to store all of that, and that takes away from the ability to be able to rent it out, which is the ultimate goal. That's the reason why I kept it. So I decided that an apartment was not feasible, and then I went toward trying to rent a house. The big problem with renting a house in the area that I'm at is there's not many houses that people would rent that would have a lot of land or a lot of space like I need for all my stuff. And renting is just as expensive as owning. So I ultimately decided that I would buy a house, which is what I've been doing for the past 6 weeks. I started working at the beginning of February, and four bids later, I am still looking for a house to move into. It's a strange market, I'll just say that. So I bid on four houses. One of them, I got to the home inspection. I was the only person to place the bid. That thing had structural issues all over the place. Another house, I got outbid. Another house had structural damage as well. And basically the subfloor was about to fall out. And I think that seller had bought the house back when it was recommended that you waive a home inspection, which is a no-go in my opinion. No house is worth buying if you can't do a home inspection, because that's a huge investment to have to buy and then very soon after discover all $50,000 of damage possibly. So I laid off on that house, and then this other house, one of the bidders had just a pocket full of money apparently, and was able to beat me on a guarantee that he put forth. So that's where I'm at right now. Is I'm still looking for a house, and I live 4 hours away. So on the weekends is when I go back to North Carolina and do what I need to do. But during the week, I'm away from everything that I would be working on, so there's no video or content opportunity because of that. So I come back and I'm home late on Friday, so late that I kind of can't really do anything. So I wake up on Saturday, and then Saturday I still have like a week's worth of chores essentially to get done. And I've worked on the car here and there, but there's no projects that I've done that I would consider video worthy. I don't think anybody going on YouTube or anywhere would care about bleeding brakes. Sure, instructional video, but I don't think anybody would care just as a content, entertainment type of deal, more instructional. And I'm not going for the instruction of it. So there it is. I just wanted to explain kind of why I have a history of not being very consistent, but while in the military, a lot of my time was tied up with either going to the field or me volunteering for a deployment. So there was that, and stuff that I didn't take up the opportunity to get content on. So now I'm kind of just jumping in the space where I am right now, which isn't bad because I'm still very new to the whole track situation, because drag racing was what I was trying for before. I just got tired of that. I still enjoy watching those videos, but for the person being behind the seat, I would prefer a road course rather than drag racing. So that is essentially where I'm at. I'm still new to that, and then the plan ultimately is once I do find a place, and maybe I'll get one before that, I just put the rig in the North Carolina house. But ultimately, I want to be able to get a simulator, and when I can't go to the track and such and such and such, I still have the racing simulator that I can use to have some seat time and get some practice in on tracks, and then, you know, in real life when the track is there and I can afford it, go for it. And that's been another thing that I forgot to mention, is the big money stuff that I'm in right now. Buying a house ain't cheap, as all of us know, and I did take a rather significant pay cut with this new career. So I'm not going to complain about it. I still have the ability to own 2 houses, but I have to be careful with the money right now, as it's going to be tight, especially when the closing table becomes a thing. But ultimately, once I get a place, I'll be able to have everything together, because that's what I'm looking for in property, is where I can house the truck, the trailer, the Subaru, the Honda, and then have a place for my race simulator, home gym, and all that stuff. So I just kind of wanted to explain all this giant career life change, as well as the money suck and the difficulty with this housing market. So hopefully that explains a whole lot of stuff. But hopefully in the near future, when I get this house, my consistency will actually pick up, and I'll have a lot more content and a lot more fun things to talk about. So there you have it. Hopefully this wasn't too boring. Hopefully everybody can hear. But yeah, just wanted to explain some stuff and have high hopes for the future, because I've got plans. No plans for last first contact, but I'll try my best and get this situation on a roll. So thanks for watching. So part 2 of this, and excuse me, I'm driving the truck, so it's going to require a little bit more concentration, because I'm used to driving the Honda, which is a lot smaller and easier to handle. Well, because I haven't driven this in a while. Anyway, so I'm glad I held off on the update video first part, but it still kind of applies. But the big update is finally found a house that passed inspection. It's still required. I put in the asking price, but I still had to put in an escalation clause as well. And this seller really wanted to get rid of the house. So there were a lot of incentives given by the buyer or by the seller to get the house sold quick. Anyway, I found it. I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I just wanted to update y'all that it's the crazy market that it is, and it's still crazy because when I went to go look at this house, there had been no activity, and it had been on the market for 3 days. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I decided that I liked it, and we were on the way to look at a second house, once we got to the second house, my agent told me that there were 3 other offers coming in, as well as someone coming the next day up from Florida to look at the house. And in my opinion, the house wasn't worth coming up from Florida to come see, but could have been anybody coming to see, even an agent of a business or something. Anyway, long story just to say that I finally got a house that passed inspection. It has its little quirks and tweaks and whatnot, but it does check all the boxes that I needed it to. So hopefully I'll have some more content coming soon. Closing date I purposely set just to be clever as May 4th. So we'll see how things go, and hopefully going forward we'll have a lot more stuff going on and a lot more ability to focus on content. So until next time, y'all.